This video is about bulimia, bulimia nervosa. The word bulimia actually means the appetite of an ox. Nervosa is of the nervous system of the mind. Bulimia is a mental health illness. It's when someone will eat huge amounts of food at any one sitting and then they feel the need to rid themselves of that food through vomiting, laxatives or over-exercise. It becomes a coping strategy where sufferers will use food and food issues for something they feel they have no control over. They often feel that they cannot control what is happening to them. The only thing they can control is their food. That then becomes the crutch. You take that crutch away and they will not cope on a day-to-day basis. What actually happens when somebody is in a binge is that the serotonin at the base of the brain heightens. In a moment of the time they're in the binge, then their feeling of well-being is up. When they rid themselves of that food, then the guilt and the self-worth and everything comes crashing down. What do they do to feel better about themselves? They go back up into a binge. The emotional characteristics are very similar to that of anorexia nervosa, in as much as you have the change in character, the depression, that unwillingness to be social, often withdrawn from family and friends. Often will have a distorted body image, often have a low self-esteem and low self-worth, prone to mood swings and uncharacteristic outbursts. All these are the things that we've discussed within the anorexia. The physical side of things are very different. What happens with somebody who's suffering from bulimia is that they may be underweight or they may not necessarily. It's a very secretive illness and a lot of people suffer from bulimia for many years before they will share the fact with close loved ones. We've had people come through SEED who've suffered for 14 and 15 years and the partners and the husbands have no idea. What happens is they will eat huge amounts of food at any one sitting and then they may disappear to the toilet during or more often than not straight after their meal. There may be calluses on the back of the knuckles if they have used their hands to induce vomit. Also there may be cross-contamination from hand to mouth and mouth to hand, and there may be throat infections that have been caused through inducing vomit. Very often they may have very poor skin condition, very poor hair condition. Hair is prone to fall out or break off. The face may swell, and why that happens is that the saliva glands become blocked. Some people call it moon face, where the face is very rounded and very swollen in the glands, but the body is very, very slim. There's a lot of problems with dental work in as much as the teeth may erode, and very often what you can see is an arcing at the front of the teeth, and this is because of the acids that are emitted from the stomach that attack the enamel of the teeth. But it's not just the front teeth that you see, it's all the teeth in the mouth that are affected. There is dental restorative work that can be done, but it costs thousands of pounds. Sadly, if muscles are weakened through prolonged poor nutrition or compensatory behaviours such as vomiting or laxative abuse, then there may be ruptured esophagus that sits just under the breastbone, and if that is weakened in any way, then it can rupture. It's not just about the muscles in the arms, the legs, the abdomen, it's the muscles that actually hold in the womb, the bladder, the bowel. These are muscles that are affected as well. Often people feel very bloated, and in particular when they have maybe not had any compensatory behaviours for a while and gone back into the compensatory behaviours, the body and the metabolic and chemicals are imbalanced and the body will actually hold on to the fluid to rehydrate, and often this gives a feeling of bloatedness. It does take a few weeks to settle, but sometimes people just can't cope with that and they find that very, very distressing. Often people get very, very tired, and if you think about the compensatory behaviours, if these have been prolonged, and I'm talking something like 20, 30, 40 times a day, if those sessions are prolonged, then the fatigue and the tiredness is immense. We talk a lot about the chemical imbalance. This is the electrolytes. These are the chemicals that regulate the heart, and that chemical is the potassium. If that is imbalanced and it becomes very low, then that person may be at risk from a heart attack, and it's in the medical risk section that I talk more about this. Sometimes, but not always, there may be laxative abuse. Again, it's a way of controlling weight, and it's a very dangerous way, because what happens when people have laxative abuse, they may have a few laxatives, say 5 or 6. Your bowel starts to react to that. As they want more and more, the bowel becomes very lazy. It needs more tablets to get that kick started. We've had people we know have masses and masses of laxatives on a day-to-day basis, but the damage that they are doing to their body is immense, and it's that laxative abuse that then can actually onset the low electrolytes and affect the heart. So it's just something to be aware of, and it's something that we cover in the medical risk section.